Well, I'm joined now by Jamie Anderson, whose father, the Thunderbirds creator Gerry Anderson, died last Christmas, a little over a year after being diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and he chose to donate his brain to science for dementia research. Thanks very much for coming in. Tell me a little bit about what happened to your father.
Well, as they were saying in the VT, dementia is so difficult to talk about, or has been up until now. I watched Dad become more and more unwell over a period of about 8 years from 2002. And because I didn't realise that it was dementia, or that dementia was a thing, you know, I just believed it was normal ageing. I spent all that time just making excuses for his behaviour as the man I knew as my father disappeared, which was just a terrifying thing to watch.
When you finally went to the doctors, I mean, were they helpful?
Well, I was expecting to be put on some sort of a pathway for treatment and, you know, help, because it's a full-time job for a carer to look after someone with dementia. And I was really, really surprised that once we got the diagnosis, it was just a case of, well, now you know what it's called,
You're
off
on
you
your
go.
own.
Yeah, exactly, which again, it was really scary. You expect there to be some sort of system in place, and there just isn't right now.
And how did you as a family cope with that then?
It was difficult. We were lucky in that we got in touch with the Alzheimer's Society, and they help people who have dementia to live well, and that does make a big difference. But we really felt on our own, and it was a pretty scary experience.
I mean, this government has talked a lot and loudly now about doing something about it. How confident are you that things will change? What do you need them to do?
Well, I'm really, really hopeful that it won't just be talk now and it will change. You know, for too long we've kind of just treated dementia as something that will happen and is inevitable, but it's time we look at it like cancer. It's something that can be fought and won, and if we concentrate on it in the same way as we have done with cancer over the last 30 years, then it eventually will get to a point where we can really treat it and maybe cure it.
And how vital is it that that translates into real support for people like you and your father and others like you?
Well, I mean, if dementia was a country, in terms of its economic impact, it would be the 18th largest country in the world. It has 80% the same costs associated with it as cancer does in terms of its economic impact. It's massive, and you need to help the people who have it.
But in terms of emotional impact too, though?
Well, Hugh, I mean, you expect your parents to leave you with their memories intact and to leave them as you remember them, but I lost Dad 2 years before he died. It's just a horrible thing to watch.
What is the one thing David Cameron could do for you and the memory of your father?
More money for dementia research and a concerted effort across the G8 will be great.
Jamie Anderson, thank you very, very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.